All right, so today we're diving into this pretty cool exercise program. It's built around a device called IsoTone, and get this. It's made for a 65-year-old individual. They have diabetes.
Okay.
They're on dialysis, and to top it off, they've had a leg amputated.
Wow.
And they even said they struggle with, like fine motor skills, like buttoning a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a lot to work with. So how do you even start to create an exercise program with all that? That's what we're going to look at today.
Yeah, it's definitely, a lot of challenges. But what's really fascinating is how adaptable this program is. And that's all thanks to IsoTone and its features.
Oh, okay.
IsoTone itself is, think of it as this portable thing. It uses hydraulics for resistance. It's kind of like, like a high-tech version of those weights or those stretchy bands you see.
Right, right.
But the real game changer here is the effort gauge. It's built right in, and it measures how hard you're working based on, get this, temperature change.
Hold on. So it's like the device itself knows how hard you're pushing by, like how hot it's hitting.
It's pretty cool, right?
That's wild. But couldn't you just use, like regular weights or those resistance bands? I mean, people have been using those forever, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. They definitely have, but you have to think about it from, this person's perspective. Regular weights, they can be kind of jerky.
Yeah.
And hard to control, especially for someone who doesn't have, full mobility.
Right.
IsoTone, it uses hydraulics, and that gives you this smooth, like really customizable resistance. So it's perfect for someone in this, unique situation.
Okay.
Plus, with that effort gauge, you don't have to guess how hard to push. It's like having a built-in personal trainer giving you feedback the entire time.
Oh, okay. Now I'm starting to see why this is like a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, how does this program work exactly? It's called the IsoTone Diabetes Exercise Program, right?
Yep. IDEP for short.
IDDP, okay.
And it's got this, really comprehensive approach. It's not just about, building strength. It's about coordination, flexibility. Remember those fine motor skills we talked about?
Yeah.
And it even has exercises that are specifically for people on dialysis.
Whoa. That's a lot to cover. So, walk me through it. What happens in each part of the program?
Okay, so first we start with a 5-minute warm-up. It's all about prepping the body, getting it ready to exercise.
Okay.
Think arm circles, those cross punches. But with IsoTone, adding that extra resistance and the effort gauge, of course, making sure they're working at the right level.
Okay, so it's not like your typical mindless warm-up. They're actually already engaging their muscles and getting that feedback right from the start.
Right.
You mentioned that the program helps with those fine motor skills. I'm really curious about that part, especially since they mentioned, struggling with buttoning shirts.
Yeah, absolutely. Later on in the program, there are exercises like hand squeezes. It's just what it sounds like, squeezing the IsoTone. But it directly works on your grip strength.
Okay.
And building up that strength. It can make a huge difference in their everyday life. Like, imagine if they could button a shirt more easily just because they spent a few minutes a day squeezing this device.
Wow. That's amazing. It's all about those little victories, right?
It really is.
So we have the warm-up. We've got those exercises for the fine motor skills.
Yeah.
What comes next? What else is in this program? It sounds like pretty intense.
Well, remember the effort gauge.
Yeah.
It's there to make sure they don't overdo it. And we're going for, like a sustainable routine, not trying to exhaust them. The next part actually focuses on getting that heart rate up, improving their heart health, all that.
So this is where the cardio comes in.
Exactly. We call it the aerobic component. It has things like IsoTone power punches. They're basically rapid punches, with the IsoTone, and you squeeze with each punch.
So it's not just strength training, it's getting their heart pumping too.
Yeah.
But do you think they have enough stamina for that, considering everything they're dealing with?
Well, that's the beauty of this program, right? It's all about adapting to what they need.
Yeah.
The effort gauge, it plays a huge role in that. It lets us adjust, the intensity level in real time. So we wouldn't push them past their limits. And you have to remember, even a little bit of activity, if they do it consistently, can make a big difference for their heart health.
That makes sense. So it's not about running marathons. It's about finding that sweet spot where it's challenging but not overwhelming.
Right.
Okay, so we have the warm-up, the strength and coordination. We've got those fine motor skills, and now the cardio. What else? What comes after that?
Next up is flexibility, massage, and you're not going to believe this, bed exercises.
Wait, bed exercises? What, like jumping jacks in their sleep?
No. Think of it as gentle leg lifts while they're squeezing the IsoTone, or even an arm press while lying down. Remember, this person's on dialysis, right? That means a lot of time in bed. So we want to make the most of that time and keep their blood flowing, prevent stiffness, all that.
That's like thinking outside the box.
Hey.
Okay, so we've got all these exercises, but how do you measure their progress? Like, how do you even know if it's working?
That's where the outcome assessment comes in, and this is where it gets really interesting. We're not just relying on how they feel. We're looking at actual changes, measurable changes.
Okay.
So, like, can they do more of those IsoTone chest presses after a couple of weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Are their power punches smoother, with a greater range of motion? Can they button that shirt quicker and easier? We look for those signs that things are getting better.
So you're not just saying, like, hey, you should feel better now. You're actually tracking those physical changes.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
We also look at their blood work, comparing it from before they started exercising to after. Things like glucose levels, their hemoglobin A1C, that's a way to measure their blood sugar control over time, and inflammation markers. The goal is to see improvement, not just in how their body's working, but in their overall health, and how well they're managing their diabetes.
Wow, this is a really comprehensive program. It's not just about getting stronger or more flexible. It's about making their life better in a bunch of different ways. It really shows how personalized this whole approach is. But before we keep going, I want to dive a little deeper into some of these specific exercises, especially those bed exercises, the ones they can do during dialysis. I'm really curious about how all that works.
Okay, let's do it. So those bed exercises, it's pretty amazing how they actually factor in the dialysis. I mean, spending hours hooked up to a machine, it's not exactly workout time.
Right.
But it doesn't mean they can't be active at all.
Yeah, that's what's so impressive about this program. It's not just like throwing exercises at someone. It's about really understanding their situation and figuring out how to, make fitness work for them.
Exactly. So, like, picture this. The person's lying on their back.
Huh.
They've got the IsoTone. Now, instead of just lying there, they can do these bed-lying leg lifts. And with each lift, they squeeze the IsoTone.
Okay.
It works their core, their legs, and that squeezing, it helps with circulation, which can be a big problem during dialysis.
In those notes you sent, it mentioned that they had some problems with swelling in their legs. It's like incredible how these exercises can target those specific things. It's not just some, random workout routine. It's really for them.
That's what's so great about personalizing it, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just the exercises themselves. It's also how they do them. Mm-hmm. Even something as simple as like a bed-lying arm press. It's basically like a regular overhead press, but lying down can be changed based on how strong they are and, how far they can move.
And of course, that effort gauge is tracking everything so you can adjust the resistance as they get stronger, right? It's like having a virtual coach right there with them. What about those exercises, the ones they can do while they're actually hooked up to the dialysis machine?
Oh, yeah. Those are all about keeping them moving, preventing stiffness. Think about it. You're sitting in the same spot for hours.
Yeah.
Even simple things like IsoTone wrist rolls, turning their wrist while they gently squeeze that can make a huge difference.
I can see how that would help keep the blood flowing, stop their joints from getting all stiff. It's like almost like a fidget toy, but with a, health benefit.
Exactly. And those gentle twists we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
They can do those sitting down too. They hold the IsoTone in front of them and then twist from side to side, squeezing with each twist. It's a small movement, but it helps with their spine. It loosens things up from sitting for so long.
It's really cool how this program doesn't need any fancy equipment or a gym membership. It's just about using this one device and moving more in your everyday life, whether you're in bed, sitting during dialysis, or just, doing your normal thing.
Yeah, it's all about making fitness something they can do, something they can keep up with.
Right.
And it goes beyond just, the physical stuff. Remember those blood work results we talked about? Improving those glucose levels, the hemoglobin A1C, that's all about how healthy they are overall, how well they're handling their diabetes.
Right. So it's not just about feeling good. It's about actually improving their health in the long run. And the fact that you have all that data from the effort gauge and the blood tests, it takes out all the guesswork.
Exactly. This program really shows how powerful it is to have this personalized approach to fitness.
Yeah.
Something that uses real data.
Okay, so we've gotten into the details about this program. Those bed exercises, the movements they can do during dialysis, how it focuses on improving both their physical health and their overall health. It's really clear that this program is made just for this person. But you mentioned earlier how IsoTone could be used for other people too. So let's talk about that. What are the bigger implications of this technology?
That's where things get really exciting. We've been talking about this one specific case, but imagine the possibilities. Athletes, older adults, people recovering from injuries, anyone who could use this kind of customized approach.
My mind's already racing, thinking about all the ways this could be used. Could an athlete, use IsoTone to recover from an injury? Use that effort gauge to track how they're doing and make sure they're not pushing themselves too hard too fast?
Absolutely. Or think about an older adult who could use IsoTone to stay strong, keep their balance, and live more independently. That's the beauty of this technology. It's adaptable.
It's like having a personal trainer and a physical therapist all in one. And anyone can use it, no matter their age, how fit they are, or if they have any physical challenges. It's about making fitness work for everyone.
That's the goal, isn't it? To help people take charge of their own health, no matter what their situation is. And technology like IsoTone is making that a reality.
It's really inspiring. This whole deep dive has made me realize how powerful personalized fitness can be, and how technology can create these truly tailored solutions. But before we get too carried away with all these possibilities, I want to go back to something we talked about earlier. Those measurable results.
Yeah, that's really important. It's not enough to just feel better. We have to see actual proof that things are getting better.
Exactly. So let's break down those outcome assessments a bit more. We talked about things like doing more repetitions, having smoother movements, and improvements in their blood work. But what do those results actually mean for their everyday life? How do those changes make their quality of life better?
That's a great question. It's about connecting the dots, seeing how it all comes together. Let's start with those strength gains. Like if they can do more of those IsoTone chest presses, that could mean they have an easier time getting up from a chair or lifting heavier things around the house.
So it's not just about some numbers on a page. It's about having the strength to do those everyday things more easily. That makes a huge difference in their independence and, just how they experience life.
Absolutely. And those smoother power punches, remember those?
Yeah.
If their coordination and range of motion are better, they'll have better balance and be more agile.
Yeah.
That means they're less likely to fall.
Yeah.
Which is especially important for someone who has trouble moving around.
And even those small improvements in their fine motor skills, like being able to button a shirt faster, that can do wonders for their confidence and self-esteem.
You got it. It's about all those small wins that add up to a life that's more fulfilling and independent.
Now, what about those blood work results, those improvements in their glucose levels and hemoglobin A1C? What do those mean for someone with diabetes?
That's where the real long-term benefits come in. When their blood sugar is better controlled, they're at a lower risk for all those complications from diabetes, things like heart disease, nerve damage, and problems with their vision. It's about protecting their health and preventing those serious problems down the road.
So it's not just about managing the symptoms they're dealing with now, it's about slowing down how fast the disease progresses and preventing more issues in the future.
Exactly. And those lower inflammation markers we saw.
Yeah.
Inflammation is linked to so many health problems, so seeing those markers go down is a really good sign.
It's amazing how this one exercise program can have such a big impact, affecting so many parts of their health and well-being.
It really shows you how connected everything is in our bodies and how important it is to take care of the whole person, not just one part. And it highlights how powerful a truly personalized fitness plan can be.
All right, so we've explored the details of this program, how it could be used for other groups of people, and how those measurable results actually make a difference in this person's life. It's clear that IsoTone and the idea behind this personalized approach could really change how we think about fitness. But before we wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with a question to think about. We've seen how they've customized IsoTone for this, one person with all these challenges, but what if everyone could have that kind of personalized fitness plan? I mean, we're all different, right? We have different bodies, different goals, different lives.
That's a really interesting thought. Imagine if exercise wasn't like this one-size-fits-all thing, but it was a journey, just for you.
Yeah.
We're starting to see a little bit of that already with all the wearable tech and those fitness apps that use AI, but there's so much more we could do.
I'm picturing a future where, you go to a gym, and instead of getting some generic workout plan, they have this, high-tech assessment area. They analyze how you move, what your body's made of, maybe even look at your genes, and they build a program that's perfect for you.
Yeah, and it wouldn't stop there. Imagine the program changing as you get stronger, as you progress. Sensors would track your form, your heart rate, how hard you're working, and the program would adjust everything, the intensity, the exercises, even the reps and sets.
It'd be like having a whole team of experts, a trainer, a physical therapist, a nutritionist, maybe even a sports psychologist, all working together to give you this, ultimate fitness experience.
And it wouldn't just be for, professional athletes or people who can afford to hire all those experts.
Right.
Technology could make this kind of personalization available to everyone. Like, imagine a fitness coach that lives on your phone, guiding you through your workouts, giving you feedback, and adjusting the program based on how you're doing and even how you're feeling that day.
That's like a fitness concierge in your pocket. But what about, actually working with a person? Don't we still need that to stay motivated and accountable?
Of course, that human connection is really important. But technology can actually make that connection better, not replace it. Like, what if your virtual coach connected you with other people who are working towards the same goals? Give you support and encouragement. Or you could share all your data with a real trainer who can help you and adjust things as needed.
So it's about combining the best of both worlds, right? The personalized stuff, the technology, and the motivation and support you get from connecting with other people. That's a pretty powerful combination.
And think about the impact it could have. We could see fewer people with chronic diseases, fewer injuries, and more people feeling like they can take control of their health. It's a pretty exciting future to imagine.
It really is. We've come a long way from those, one-size-fits-all workout videos. We're moving into a time of personalized fitness, and it's clear that technology like IsoTone is a big part of that.
It's been really inspiring looking at all the possibilities of personalized fitness and how technology can make such a difference.
Definitely. And for everyone listening, we hope this has given you some new ideas, maybe even inspired you to think about your own fitness journey in a different way. Remember, it's not about finding the perfect program. It's about finding what works for you, what gets you moving, and what helps you reach your goals.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing those boundaries in your own journey to better health and well-being.
And until next time, stay curious, stay active, and keep diving deep.